stones of 10,041 structures across the country. Prime Minister reiterates her firm conviction about free and fair elections, saying people will cast vote independently in the next general election.
জনগণের ভোটের অধিকার আমরাই নিশ্চিত করেছি, কাজে এটা জনগণ স্বাধীনভাবে ভোট দেবে।
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina distributes National Film Award 2022 among 32 recipients in 27 categories. Why common people have been made victims of BNP's evil politics and violence, asked Dr. Hassan Mahmood. TCB starts selling daily commodities at subsidized prices on mobile trucks. Thirty people killed in northern Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp in Israeli attacks, raising death toll on Palestinians over 11,000. And New Zealand will take on India in the first semi-final in ODI Cricket World Cup tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Tasuma Taslim, welcoming you to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina reiterated her firm conviction that the people of Bangladesh would cast vote independently in the next general elections. The Election Commission may announce the election date and time in 1 or 2 days. The people will cast their votes freely, she said. The Premier said this while virtually inaugurating and laying foundation stone of 10,041 structures under 157 development projects involving around 1 lakh crore taka from Ganobhavan this morning. The projects include 4,644 various development infrastructures and 5,397 houses for the landless and homeless people under the Ashrayon 2 project across the country under 24 ministries and divisions. Sheikh Hasina said the next election is approaching nearer. If the people cast vote for Awami League, then the party will come to the power. Otherwise, it will have no regret for that. She said the Awami League never comes to power by undemocratic way, referring to the assumption of power through 2014 and 2018 elections. The Premier also thanked the people for voting her party to power time and again and thus giving the chance to serve the nation.
জনগণের ভোটের অধিকার আমরাই নিশ্চিত করেছি, কাজে এটা জনগণ স্বাধীনভাবে ভোট দেবে। অনেকে নির্বাচনে আসতে চায় না, কারণ আপনারাই বলেন 30টা সিট যারা পেয়েছিল তাদের তো নির্বাচনে আসার আকাঙ্ক্ষাই থাকবে না। নির্বাচন বানচাল করে একটা অস্বাভাবিক পরিস্থিতি সৃষ্টি করে আবার বাংলাদেশের মানুষকে ভোগান্তির দেওয়া, এটাই তাদের চেষ্টা। আমি জানি এদেশের মানুষ একটু শান্তিতে ছিল, স্বস্তিতে ছিল, উন্নয়নটা দ্রুত গতিতে এগিয়ে যাচ্ছিল। ঠিক সেই সময় আবার এই অবরোধ আর অগ্নিসন্ত্রাস, জ্বালাও পোড়াও, আগুন দেওয়া, বাসে আগুন, গাড়িতে আগুন দিয়ে মানুষের জীবনযাত্রা যেমন ব্যাহত করা হচ্ছে। স্কুল কলেজের ছেলেমেয়েরা যেখানে ফাইনাল পরীক্ষা দেবে, পরীক্ষা দিতে পারছে না, তাদের লেখাপড়া নষ্ট করছে। আমি এটুকু বলবো যে ওদের সুমতি হোক, এই ধ্বংসযজ্ঞ তারা বন্ধ করুক, অগ্নিসন্ত্রাস বন্ধ করুক। এবং দেশবাসীও বলবো যে এই অগ্নিসন্ত্রাস আপনাদেরও প্রতিরোধ করতে হবে।
Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister M. Tofazzal Hossain Mia conducted the event. Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood, Local Government, Rural Development and Cooperatives Minister Mohammad Tajul Islam, Health and Family Welfare Minister Zahid Malik and Food Minister Shadhan Chandra Mojumdar were present on the days. A total of 101 centers across the country were connected virtually to the program. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has distributed the National Film Award 2022 among 32 recipients in 27 categories in recognition of their contributions to the film industry. The award-giving ceremony was held at the Bangabandhu International Conference Center in the capital this evening. Prime Minister's younger sister Sheikh Rihana was present at the function. This year's eminent artist Kamrul Alum Khan Khosru and Rosho Nara Rojina jointly got the Lifetime Achievement Award for their contributions to the film industry. Kura Pokkhe Shunne Ura and Poran movies jointly won the award in the Best Film category. Saida Rubayat Hossain has been given the Best Director award. Chanchul Chaudhary got the award of the Best Actor, while the Best Actress in Leading Role Award 2022 jointly went to Joya Hassan and Rikita Nandini Shimu. Shubhashish Bhomik was awarded Best Actor in a Negative Role. Brishti Akhtar and Muntaha Amelia won the Best Child Artist Award jointly for films Rohingya and Birotto respectively. Documentary Bangabandhu of Dhaka University was awarded in the Best Documentary category, while short film Ghore Fera was awarded in the Best Short Film category. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina urged the directors, artists, producers and all others to produce films using the modern technology that can attain acclamation from outside the country. She said that films can aware, entertain and reform society, side by side contain history and encourage people for building a nation with utmost patriotism.
যারা বিভিন্ন চলচ্চিত্র নির্মাণ করছেন তাদেরকে আমি বলবো যে আপনারা একটু নজর দিলে সমাজের বিভিন্ন দিক তুলে ধরে যে খুব ভালো ভালো চলচ্চিত্র নির্মাণ করা যায় তা কিন্তু প্রমাণ করেছেন। কাজে এভাবেই আপনারা চালিয়ে যান। আর তাছাড়া এটা এখন তো ডিজিটাল যুগ, কাজেই আমরা বলবো এই তথ্য প্রযুক্তি ব্যবহার করে বিশ্বমানের চলচ্চিত্র যাতে নির্মাণ হয় সেই পদক্ষেপ আপনারা নেবেন, সেটাই আমরা চাই। আমরা চাই যে আমাদের দেশের অঙ্গন ছাড়িয়ে আমাদের চলচ্চিত্র বিদেশেও সমাদৃত হোক। আমরা চাই না যে আমাদের দেশে অশ্লীল চলচ্চিত্র অথবা পাইরেসি চলুক। আমাদের নিজেদের সকলেরই যে মেধা আছে সেই মেধা কাজে লাগিয়ে কিন্তু ভালো শিল্প গড়ে তোলা যায়, সেই ব্যবস্থাটাই যাতে হয় সেটাই আমরা চাই। 15 আগস্টের পর তো জাতির পিতার নামটা ইতিহাস থেকে মুছে ফেলা হয়েছিল, যেন বাংলাদেশ এমনি এমনি স্বাধীন হয়ে গেছে। কেউ একটা বাঁশির ফু দিল আর দেশ স্বাধীন হয়ে গেল। এই যে সারাটা জীবন তিনি কষ্ট করেছেন, ত্যাগ স্বীকার করেছেন, সেই ইতিহাস মুছে ফেলা হয়েছিল। জয় বাংলা স্লোগান মুছে ফেলা হয়েছিল। 7ই মার্চের ভাষণ নিষিদ্ধ ছিল। তার জীবনী মানেই তো বাংলাদেশের ইতিহাস, বাংলাদেশের উত্থান, বাংলাদেশের বিজয়, জাতির বিজয়। কাজে সেই বিষয়গুলি আজকে তুলে ধরা হচ্ছে, সেজন্য সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানাই।
Later, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, along with her younger sister Sheikh Rehana, enjoyed a colorful cultural function organized on the occasion. Country's noted artists performed in the function and enthralled the audience. Meanwhile, speaking at the National Film Awards ceremony, Information and Broadcasting Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood urged the filmmakers to highlight the story of Bangladesh's development through films.
জননেত্রী শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে এই চলচ্চিত্র শিল্পকে ঘুরে দাঁড়ানোর পেছনে আরেকটি কারণ আছে। বাংলাদেশকে আজকে খামছে ধরেছে, বাংলাদেশে আজকে শকুনের থাবা পড়েছে, শকুনের শোন দৃষ্টি পড়েছে এবং আমাদের কৃষ্টি সংস্কৃতি আজকে হুমকির সম্মুখীন হয়েছে। এবং উন্নয়নের রোল মডেল, বাংলাদেশের গল্প, বদলে যাওয়ার গল্প আজকে পৃথিবীর সামনে উপস্থাপিত হয়। কদিন পরে শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে চলচ্চিত্র শিল্প যেমন বিশ্ব অঙ্গনে জায়গা করে নেবে, বিশ্ব অঙ্গন দখল করবে, সেই গল্পটাও পৃথিবীর মানুষ জানবে। শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে এই বদলে যাওয়ার গল্প, আমি যারা আজকে সিনেমা বানান তাদেরকে অনুরোধ জানাবো, এই বদলে যাওয়ার গল্পটা সিনেমার কাহিনীতে নিয়ে আসুন, দেশ বিদেশে ছড়িয়ে দিন।
The function was also addressed by Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Hassanul Haq Inu and Senior Secretary of the Ministry Humayun Kobir Khondokar. Information Broadcasting Minister and Awami League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood has questioned BNP as to why common people have been made victims of its evil politics and violence. He put the question today after visiting the people injured by petrol bomb attacks during blockades and strikes called by the BNP Jamaat. The injured are undergoing treatment at the Sheikh Hasina National Burn and Plastic Surgery Institute in the capital.
তেরো 14-15 সালে যেভাবে মানুষের উপর আক্রমণ পরিচালনা করেছে একই কায়দায় তারা মানুষের উপর বোমা নিক্ষেপ পেট্রোল বোমা নিক্ষেপ করা শুরু করেছে। এখানে যারা চিকিৎসাধীন আছে সবাই গাড়ির ড্রাইভার, হেল্পার, রিক্সাওয়ালা আর দু একজন কর্মজীবী মানুষ আছে, সবাই সাধারণ মানুষ। এদের কি অপরাধ? বিএনপি জামাতের কাছে আমার প্রশ্ন, এই সাধারণ মানুষগুলোর কি অপরাধ? তারা কেন তাদের অপরাজনীতি হিংস্রতার শিকার হল? নিজেদের রাজনৈতিক দাবি দেওয়ার জন্য তাদের চেয়ারপারসনের মুক্তি, যিনি দুর্নীতি দায়ে সাজাপ্রাপ্ত, ভারপ্রাপ্ত চেয়ারপারসনের জন্য এবং তথাকথিত তাদের তত্ত্বাবধায়ক সরকারের দাবি, এগুলোর জন্য এই সাধারণ মানুষের উপর বোমা নিক্ষেপ, আগুনে পুড়িয়ে মারা, এটি কেউ কল্পনাও করতে পারে না। এরা পাকিস্তানি বাহিনীর চেয়েও হিংস্র হয়ে গেছে। এখানে একজন বাসের হেল্পার আছে এবং আরেকজন হেল্পার ছিল। বাসের মধ্যে ড্যামরাতে পেট্রোল বোমা নিক্ষেপ করার পর আরেকজন হেল্পার বাসের মধ্যেই মারা গেছে, আর সে কোনো রকমে বেঁচে আছে, এখনো শঙ্কামুক্ত নয়। আমাদেরকে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী, বাংলাদেশ আওয়ামী লীগের সভাপতি আমাদেরকে পাঠিয়েছেন এই বিএনপি জামাতের অগ্নিসন্ত্রাসের শিকার যারা হাসপাতালে কাতরাচ্ছে তাদের খোঁজখবর নেওয়ার জন্য। তাদের সমস্ত চিকিৎসা এবং ব্যয় এগুলো সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে, এখানে বার্ন ইউনিটের যিনি পরিচালক ডক্টর সামন্তলাল সেন, তার মাধ্যমে তাদের সমস্ত চিকিৎসা খরচপাতি থেকে শুরু করে সব কিছু করা হচ্ছে। আমরা দলের পক্ষ থেকেও তাদের পরিবারকে সহায়তা করব। তো আমি আপনাদেরকে অনুরোধ জানাবো, যাদের কর্ণকুহুরে এদের কান্না আর্তনাদ পৌঁছায় না, তাদের কাছে এদের কান্না আর্তনাদটা আপনারা পৌঁছে দিবেন।
Awami League Office Secretary Barrister Biplab Borua, Health Affairs Secretary Dr. Rokeya Sultana and Sheikh Hasina National Burn and Plastic Surgery Institute's Chief Coordinator Dr. Shamanto Lal Sen were present. The Trading Corporation of Bangladesh (TCB) has started selling soybean oil, lentils, potatoes and onions at subsidized prices on mobile trucks. Senior Secretary of the Commerce Ministry Topon Kanti Ghosh inaugurated the activity at Karwan Bazar in the capital today. The government-run TCB's initiative is meant for low-income group people. Director General of the Directorate of National Consumers' Right Protection AHM Shofiquzzaman and TCB Chairman Brigadier General Muhammad Ariful Hassan were present. The Commerce Secretary said in the truck sale, 1 kilogram of onion is available at Taka 50, potatoes at Taka 30, lentils at Taka 70 and 1 liter of soybean oil is available at Taka 100. He said one person can buy 2 kilograms of lentils, 2 liters of soybean oil, 2 kilograms of potatoes and 2 kilograms of onions. The Commerce Secretary also said the TCB will sell these items at 25 to 30 spots in the capital every day for low-income group and floating people. He said the sale of essentials is also continuing across the country among 1 crore families of TCB card holders. Products will also be sold out on trucks to common consumers who have no cards, he added. Bangabandhu Rail Bridge, one of the mega projects of the country, is now visible on the river Jamuna. The construction work of the 2.5 kilometer long rail bridge is going on in full swing. Spans of the bridge have already been constructed. Works are underway to construct stations and rail lines on the main bridge and 2 sides of the Bangabandhu Bridge. The main structure of the country's largest rail bridge is now visible. The local and foreign engineers and workers are working relentlessly to construct the bridge within the stipulated time. The work progress of the rail bridge is 71%. A total of 88 trains can move daily through this bridge at a speed of 100 to 120 kilometers per hour. After the inauguration of the rail bridge, a new horizon will be opened for boosting the economy of the northern region of the country. Goods transportation will be very easy alongside carrying passengers through this rail bridge. On November 29th of 2020, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina laid the foundation stone of the bridge. The estimated cost of the bridge is 16,781 crore taka. It is expected that trains can move through the Bangabandhu rail bridge in December next year. A European Union EU delegate led by Paola Pampaloni, Deputy Managing Director for Asia and the Pacific at the European External Action Service, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister's Principal Secretary M. Tofazzal Hossain Mia at the Prime Minister's office today. During the meeting, they discussed a range of issues including Bangladesh's availing the EU's GSP plus preferential trade benefits after the LDC graduation. The Principal Secretary expressed gratitude to EU's tremendous support in the ongoing development journey of Bangladesh under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The EU delegation wanted to know about the next general election and human rights situation in Bangladesh. Tofazzal Hossain Mia said the government is extending all-out cooperation for holding a free, fair and peaceful election. The EU delegation has assured EU's support towards Bangladesh's availing GSP plus preferential trade benefits. Moving on to international news. More than 60% of hospitals in Gaza are non-functional due to lack of fuel, damage and insecurity, said the World Health Organization (WHO). It warned that Gaza's biggest hospital, Al-Shifa, is nearly a cemetery with bodies piling up inside and outside. Gaza's health ministry said 40 people have died at Al-Shifa hospital today, adding that a large number of bodies need to be buried, but Israeli forces are preventing movement within the compound. Meanwhile, more than 30 people killed in northern Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp after Israeli strikes hit at least 12 homes. More than 11,200 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7th. The President of the United States and two of its cabinet members are being sued for failing to prevent and aiding and abetting genocide in Gaza. A federal complaint, a PDF, filed on Monday against President Joe Biden, Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, accusing them of failure to prevent and complicity in the Israeli government's unfolding genocide. New York civil liberties group, the Center for Constitutional Rights (CCR), filed the suit on behalf of the Palestinian human rights organizations, Palestinians in Gaza and U.S. citizens with relatives in the besieged enclave that has faced more than a month of relentless bombardment by Israel, which received funding and weapons from the U.S. government. In the introduction to its complaint, the CCR wrote, "Numerous Israeli government leaders have expressed clear genocidal intentions and deployed dehumanizing characterizations of Palestinians, including human animals. Numerous legal scholars, right groups, and humanitarians have also called Israel's actions in Gaza genocide." The United Nations expects specific results from the meeting between President Joe Biden and President of China Xi Jinping. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said, "We're also looking for specific outcomes from the meeting on November 15th. The leaders are going to discuss various topics, including the situation in Ukraine and in the Middle East and the restoration of communication channels in the defense sphere between Washington and Beijing," he noted. Ethnic armed groups fighting to restore civilian rule in Myanmar have claimed new territory in the country's northwest near the border with India amid an escalating offensive against the military regime. Fighters in Chin state reportedly took control of two military outposts on the border of India's Mizoram state after hour-long battles on Monday, according to local media outlets. The advance follows successes in neighboring Rakhine State and northern Shan State in a coordinated offensive launched 2 weeks ago by anti-coup forces. Myanmar was plunged into crisis when Senior General Min Aung Hlaing seized power in a coup in 2021, leading to mass protests that evolved into armed resistance when the military used force to crack down on its civilian opponents. Now some international news in brief. North Korea on Tuesday slammed a joint statement by G7 foreign ministers that criticized the country's nuclear program, arguing the grouping of rich democracies should be dismantled immediately.
Nuclear warhead generated when it re-enters the Earth's atmosphere. Chung Young-woo says that is a very dangerous.
On Monday unveiled its
The Supreme Court of the United States has announced its first formal code of ethics governing the conduct of its 9 justices, following months of outside pressure over revelations of undisclosed luxury trips and gifts from wealthy benefactors.
They called the lack of any enforcement mechanism open for justices to simply ignore the.
Charles III turns 75 on Tuesday, showing no sign of a let-up in activity just over a year since he became king after the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
Prompting fears of a major.
More than 500 quakes hit the southwestern Reykjanes Peninsula of Iceland yesterday. Thousands of people have been evacuated from the town of Grindavik, under which most of the tremors have taken place.
And it's likely that they will be allowed back to have been in recent days.
Cabinet meeting decided to discontinue.
Nepal has banned China's TikTok as the decision comes days after the country introduced a new rule requiring social media firms to set up liaison offices in the country.
Immediately, Nepal's Ministry of Communication will now coordinate the necessary measures to TikTok within Nepal.
Dengue situation is not in improving trend in Bangladesh as 12 died during the last 24 hours. A press release of the Director General of Health Services said among the dead, 7 were in Dhaka and 5 were outside of Dhaka. 1,470 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 319 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 1,151 patients outside of Dhaka city. Now news on weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Khulna, Borishal and Chattogram divisions. Besides, weather may remain mainly dry with partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Night temperature may rise slightly and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. Now news on sports. India will take on New Zealand in the first semi-final of the ICC ODI World Cup 2023 tomorrow. The match will start at 2:30 p.m. Bangladesh Standard Time at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. India won all 9 matches and reached the semi-final, securing the top position of the table with 18 points. New Zealand won 5 matches and reached the semi-finals by finishing 4th in the table with 10 points. To end the bulletin's headlines once again. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina inaugurates and lays foundation stones of 10,041 structures across the country. Prime Minister reiterates her firm conviction about free and fair elections, saying people will cast vote independently in the next general election. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina distributes National Film Awards 2022 among 32 recipients in 27 categories. Why common people have been made victims of BNP's evil politics and violence, asked Dr. Hassan Mahmood. TCB starts selling daily commodities at subsidized prices on mobile trucks. 30 people killed in northern Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp in Israeli attacks, raising death toll of Palestinians over 11,000. And New Zealand will take on India in the first semi-final in ODI Cricket World Cup tomorrow. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us.